Iffey history is about Iffey being formed in Minecraft at April 5th, 2015. Over the years, the Iffeys live in a dictatorship, and then the unknown empire destroys their main city, leaving it to an Iffey Depression. Iffey to Iffey Depression, and then over time, they become Companceyist, and the Companceyist rule comes around, and Iffey becomes Companceyist until the Partaceyist revolution happens, in which Companceyism is taken down and replaced with Partaceyism. And then a lot of recovery stuff happened to Iffey during this time, and the Iffey government then goes to the Iffey Pan-Nation War. Iffey Pan-Nation War was a major war that Iffey won against anarchists. And then over time, the Iffey Civil War comes around where Iffey fights against dictators. And like 6 more civil wars happen about, and Iffey wins most of them. And over time, Iffey becomes more monarchic, which Iffey tries his best to become hide it from the Iffey public, and this reinverts itself back into nationalism, and stuff like this happens over time. Iffey, as a result of trying to distract people from its monarchic themes, becomes more warmongering, and Iffey government over the times it just becomes more and more warmongering. Like for instance, fighting on sailboats, with their alliance with the NID government, and UNAP as well, with helping UNAP making sure Iffey has stabilization across their lands. And Iffey's landmass is so huge it conquers about half of Europe and half of America. It's a beautiful nation indeed. The Iffey government also has many histories, but over time, the Iffey government slowly declines after the 8th Iffey Civil War against Air, which was a libertarian militia. About 1 to 2 months after the declaration of that civil war, the civil war ends, and the Iffey government is finally at peace with itself. But since the Iffey government is at peace with itself, people start to find out about Iffey being nationalistic, and the Iffey government slowly declines in power. Up until the last 2 days of Iffey's independence, Iffey loses its Minecraftian strongholds, which demoralizes the Iffey government to a complete standard that the Iffey government literally falls apart on January 1st, 2019. But the Iffey government considered this as retirement. The Iffey government was ruled by a glorious leader throughout the whole history of the Iffey government. It will be remembered as a great nation that everybody had loved. It was a great, kind of a Partacey, but not really. That's all I really need to know about the Iffey government. It was a great nation, and it'll be missed so much. Thank you for all you've done for us, and for the Iffey government. Companceyism was an ideology that focused government on a congress of companies, and Partaceyism was an ideology that made people be a part of the government. People in government are united in a Partacey, and people aren't in a Compancey, but so companies in government are united in a Compancey. That's the difference between the two ideologies, just so you know. Note that the Iffey government wasn't really a pure Partacey, it was more of a pseudo-Partacey. It liked Partacey's ideals, but Partaceyism wasn't even fully developed during the time of the Iffey government, so you can't call it a Partacey really. The motivation for the Iffey government started up because the glorious leader was crying at a dinner table one day, and he wanted to make a great nation. And thus, he did that. The Iffey government used Iffey flags in order to invade other countries, Partaceyly, or to share the land with other country. So when you talk about Iffey invading other countries, it's really sharing the land, unless the nation despises Iffey. The natural colors of Iffey are pink, white, and black in a tricolor. It is beautiful, and it looks like ice cream, and it is the best thing ever. Iffey did had a blue, white, and black flag during the first few months of its independence, but it changed to the tricolor all know and love because of complications. At the height of Iffey power, it had about 127 Iffey citizens, an amazing number. The Iffey government had a military for most of its livelihood that was pretty weak, but still had a military base and many other really impressive things for a nation at the size of Iffey. The Iffey government main geopolitical disadvantage is that it had only control of its capital city, Ionia, around in Michigan, and its influence only lasted from Ionia, which made it very hard to control other parts of the nation, which is why Iffey claimed all the nations to share with the other nations that it claimed with. This in turn legitified Iffey's claims. Iffey was a superpower to not be messed around with. It was huge and it was epic, and barely any other nation could challenge the power of the Iffey government. The only thing that let Iffey go down was Iffey itself. The Iffey government lasted for about 3 years, give or take, from April 5th, 2015 to January 1st, 2019, which was a long time. And the fact that it stayed around this long is proof that anything resembling a party can work. Thus, Partaceyism is a great ideology to focus your attention on. Bye, and subscribe!